Are you frustrated with your dry eyes? Well, you're not alone. 21% of the population has dry eyes. About 70 million people complain about this being a frequent issue, and they want some help with it. Now, I want to go through just a few statistics that we're going to talk about what I think most of these patients, from what I've been researching and from what the experts are saying, comes from what they call MGD. That's an underlying cause. And up to 86% of the dry eye patients, what is MGD? That's Meibomian Gland Disorder. And in your eyes, you have lacrimal ducts that are up above that. In your lower lids, you have what they call Meibomian glands, and they secrete a substance called myelin. And it comes up onto your surface of your eye, and what happens is that layer of, it's an oily substance, by the way. This oily substance that comes out of your eye helps prevent the evaporation of the aqueous part from the lacrimal duct. You also have a conjunctival area too, where you have some other things that help. It's like a three-phase system that helps mediate your eye hydration, if you want to call it that, or your eye moisture. And what happens is, most of the time, the Meibomian gland disorder can really wreak some havoc because the drops help. But getting to the underlying cause, which is to make that oil not so thick, because the problems come in with the MGD is that oil is thick. When that oil is thick, it doesn't move well. And when it doesn't move well, then you get not enough oil on the surface, therefore the water just evaporates off. So I don't know if that helps. You can read a lot more about this, and in my blog, I got some good information in there. So what we need to do is we need to have a way to treat the Meibomian gland disorder. And here's the thing, there are some procedures in the office. If somebody has a severe case with the ophthalmologist or doctor can actually do a procedure to help reduce some of that and actually squeeze out some of that nasty, thick, oily substance. It's kind of like butter. It should be like olive oil, but it's not. It ends up being thicker, and it's really a problem. So here's some of the current therapies, though, that are kind of holistic, and that is to use eye compresses. They usually recommend eye compresses to melt the Meibomian oil. The problem with that is most of the ones you put in the microwave get too hot, and they lose temperature too quickly. But the heat can actually cause some damage to the cornea, so that's where a big problem goes with the ones you put in the microwave. Really, it's better to really consider that not all hot compresses are equal. I've had some that were the microwave beads. I've had some that were the rice-based or whatever. Some people put a sock and put rice in it. That's for sure. I like that idea. So there's a lot of studies out there that show they're definitely not created equal. And I think what we find most patients are telling me is the biggest complaint they have is, yeah, it gets too hot, but it's also that to keep warming it up, keep warming it up, keep warming it up. I've tried different microwave masks. It's like constantly getting up and going back to the microwave. And of course, I always said, I don't want to come back, so I'm going to heat it higher. Dumb idea. So the better thing to do is to go with a heated eye mask. And I got to tell you, this is really a good thing because you can keep it at the temperature you're supposed to keep it at, and it's going to sustain for whatever time you want. And studies have shown different things. They find that the optimal temperature is going to be somewhere between 40 to 41.5 degrees Celsius, which is about 104, 106. That's a safe way to start. And then from there, sometimes patients can go a little higher for daily maintenance, but in sensitive patients, you want to be careful, and yourself, you want to be careful to start out with a 40 to 41.5, which is 104 to 106. Now, most of the best units on the market have remote control, especially if they're electric, and some of them are USB, some of them are plugged in, some of them plug into your phone charging unit, kind of cool. But most of these on the market maintain different levels that you can go to, you know, a little bit less warm and very warm, but also timers, which is important, because if you fall asleep with it on your face, you want to make sure it's going to go off. So that's my advice, is to really find an excellent heated mask. And I've looked at a lot of them on the market, and in this next part of the video, I'm going to talk about my favorite, because I've used several different types. I've used the ones that you charge, and then you put it on your face and it runs. It usually doesn't go more than 20 minutes, and it usually starts to fall off. I've used ones that you plug in the wall. Those are great. Those are the ones that go right into the wall. Sometimes the cord can be an issue. It's nice to find one that can be much more easier to operate and have maybe something that still has to be, you know, plugged into a USB, but you have a portable electric unit with you. So there's different ones. I'm going to talk about the one that I use. I'm going to talk about the one I think would be the best value for the money.